So, you know, me and you, we go way back, so I wouldn't lie to you and try to convince you that I have any idea what I'm doing, because I simply don't. That is significantly better than getting decapitated. I don't think I've once ever said that this was an educational YouTube channel I run here. I haven't died yet. Popped it, popped it, popped it. And by popped it, I mean I broke each and every one of them. Zero actual credible repairs. Silently fuming out my ears. Terrible repairs have been made. Oh, idiot. Nothing I say has any kind of credibility. All that crying for nothing. Still gotta get that. What happened now? Idiots. I need a break. Please go on. What the? That's not possible. Oh, that's not possible. That's not possible. Cut me some slack, please. Stop doing that. So we're actually worse off than we were before. I've been trying to systematically time when I'm speaking with when the heater turns off so that it's not interrupted, but I can't imagine I'm gonna follow it through with that the entirety of the job here. Welcome back again. This is actually my first time filming in the new garage setting here. However, this is gonna be like the 4th video that you guys see, just because I've been recording everything completely out of order here. Gotta record what needs to be done first, priority-wise, right? Just to make the time frame extra confusing for you guys. Okay, today we're working on the X5, obviously. Today's episode is gonna have a central theme of things you can't live without when it's minus 30 outside. We had quite the cold snap in the recent month. It dropped down to minus, I think the lowest we got was 37 below, which Fahrenheit, Celsius, 37 below, I think it's 34 Fahrenheit. So like the numbers kind of, the scales intertwine once you reach a certain point. So just for reference of how cold it is here in Edmonton, it was pretty bad. We had 3 vehicles go down during the cold snap and I had to go and boost them all. Like, and always at inconvenient times, like 6 in the morning when I'm on my days off, sleeping after going to bed only 3 hours prior, right? Like, or 1 in the morning when my brother decides he wants to go out to a friend's place. 2 of those 3 vehicles needed new batteries too. Like, minus 30 is not nice to vehicles. We had another vehicle that was down. That one was more down because it was too damn cold to work on it. So we were just 1 vehicle short and I had to play taxi driver for quite a bit there. So the theme of this video is going to be things you can't live without when it's minus 30. The first thing you can't live without when it's minus 30 is a functional thermostat. If anyone actually remembers, I said when I did the water pump, the thermostat had already been done, by me in particular, which, as far as I know, was working completely functional. And then when summertime came around, I only had 1 available parking spot. So this had to get parked in a field somewhere at a relative's place, while the Jag was the primary daily driver. And once I got it back, the thermostat for some reason does not work anymore, which is a mystery to me because I can't understand how it would fail, aside from maybe being contaminated. So because I don't feel like putting a 3rd thermostat in, we're gonna do a rad flush. How close are we gonna be to the Jag? We'll find out when I hit it. It's always fun doing this without a spotter. Sure. This is interesting packaging. And that's a sneak preview of the 3rd thing you can't live without when it's minus 30 out. My order of operations is abysmal because now we're gonna actually prioritize the 2nd thing that you can't live without when it's minus 30. And if you haven't guessed it already, it's hood struts. You may have noticed the hood struts didn't seem to do too bad before I put that in there. Well, that's because these hood struts are at 18 degrees. When it's minus 30, they might as well be doing nothing. They package these in a pretty impressive way, but there's no actual way to open them without destroying this nice packaging. All right, what the fuck am I doing? Oh, I didn't immediately break this. Let's see, did these just pop on? Nice. Perfect. And the hope is that 1 can hold it when we do the 2nd one. That works. That also works. So 1 cannot hold it. Good to know. Tabs are in. That is significantly better than getting decapitated. You know what else is significantly better than getting decapitated? A functioning cooling system. Does my coolant reservoir have a connector that's not connected? Sure, that's not how they designed it. Hardware is going on the pile on the floor, because currently all my engine pan bolts are still on. Add this to the list with all my covers on the bottom, which is already off because we got bigger jobs coming in the future. I have no idea what's supposed to go to that connector because I don't see anything apparently obvious. I'd also like to mention that I actually have no idea how you're actually supposed to drain the cooling system on these things. In the past couple times I've done it, I just ripped the lower ad hose off. Well, YouTube it is. I don't think I've once ever said that this was an educational YouTube channel I run here. Found it. Jesus. Oh, nice. About rounded off the drain plug, so now we get to play a game of what size socket is this? About 13 mil. All right. Oh, ruined the gloves. Nice. Yeah, that probably would have helped to remove my radiator cap and actually relieve the pressure out of the system. Next pair of gloves. I got a spare in here? I do, and these are better gloves. Coolant doesn't look too bad. And I'm not gonna say it's crazy critical to get every last drop out. We're gonna flush it with this stuff. It says pour the entire can, even though this is a plastic bottle. I don't have any distilled water at the moment. We're just gonna use tap water and hope that the flush counteracts the minerals inside this thing. The level floats inside the center of the funnel. That's kind of funny. Well, just cleaning the bottom of my radiator there. Look at that. I should make a TikTok account. Well, yeah, that's about as much as gonna go in there. Fortunately, we found out through the water pump video, this thing somehow has some kind of electric cooling system priming pump, which is kind of cool. Yeah, it sure does. Looks like a charm. You know what, some might call that overfilled. I think we'll get by. Not sure why it turns so milky though. I got automatic lights in this garage, and those are very nice because you don't have to turn them on and off. They just work by themselves. The issue is right now, the motion sensor is being blocked by the hood, so that one's gonna continuously turn off. I've also found that if you're standing still enough, that it'll actually turn off and leave you in the pitch black. So you gotta make sure you have some lights available. I almost don't even need to run the engine. This thing is just gonna clean it right out for me. This is making a fucking mess. I'm gonna say that's enough bleeding's been done in this cooling system here. That's actually these units right here. That's where that pump is. I believe that's the heater core control valve there. All right. Made a funny noise when it started up. I was wondering if the water pump was cavitating or something. Oh, our belt's covered in water. I won't argue that this is a perfect source of ventilation to run a vehicle inside, but oh well, I haven't died yet. This is probably a good time to explain why the thermostat is failing. The basic issue is that it just doesn't get up to temperature at idle. Once you get it up to temperature and are driving around, it'll stay perfectly at temperature, but then if you park, it'll drop, and it'll drop quite a ways. So obviously I think the thermostat is sticking open. And I considered whether or not just when it's minus 30 out that the engine just isn't creating enough heat to sustain itself. Then I parked it in this garage and let it run when it's 18 degrees in here, and it's still never reached temperature. I don't know whether you're supposed to encourage flow out of it. The belt's still freaking out. I'm not too concerned about the belt, truthfully. It's getting pretty close to operating temperature now, which is almost a little alarming that this job might be for nothing. But once again, this is not a fair representation because I am in a heated garage right now. When I'm outside, this might not be the case. Water also has different cooling properties than glycol does. Well, it's been about 10 minutes, but I almost want to encourage it to get to operating temperature just so it'll open up and put some of that flush through the radiator. I'm gonna call that good. We're gonna bounce around, and in case you're following along with this procedure there, I'm sorry, but we have to prioritize something else while the cooling system cools down here. The next thing you can't live without in minus 30 or more, just wintertime in general, is a rear wiper motor there. Now the rear wiper motor for me had been intermittently working. A lot of times it was just working very slow, and then a lot of times it would just not work for a long time, and then randomly it would just kick on, and I was never really sure what it was, but I didn't think that was a wiper motor just because it was intermittently working. Found someone that said there was a common problem with E39s where these boots here would have the wires inside them break when you open and close the trunk lid, and that sounded like why I was having intermittent problems. It would work every time I opened and closed the trunk. So as you can see here, made an absolute mess. Basic gist of what I've done here is you take these lights out just by popping them out with a screwdriver. 4 bolts, and then all the clips are fairly as you'd expect them, just kind of pop, 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 pop the entire way. This piece, you have to pop this piece and this piece off as one. This clip will break. There's almost nothing to get away from that, except one video I seen some guy removed it, but I was pulling it like exactly in the direction it wanted to go and it still broke. So this piece here clips into there, so you have to remove this one just to get this out. This harness is a little difficult, truthfully. I don't have any footage from beforehand, unfortunately, but all you need to know is that this is your heater. This here is the defrost from your window, and this harness goes beneath it on the backside, and there's not enough room really to get this out. So you have to be very careful that you don't snap your connection for your defrost when you're pulling this out of there. In addition to that, this harness is tucked up and underneath this on the backside of this here. And they used these clips here, clip around the harness there, and then it clips into the backside of this right here, meaning these clips are impossible to remove. As you can see, I've removed said impossible clips. How I did that was I just took a screwdriver, because you can see the clip standing up, popped it, popped it, popped it. And by popped it, I mean I broke each and every one of them, but like it's so tight behind there, like as is, that I don't really think it's that much of a concern to me. I don't think it really even needs anything to hold this harness in there personally. Oh, there's the remnants of one of the last ones there. Oh, there's 2 of them actually. I guess that's because I closed the trunk lid. Oh, let's get that one out of there. Come down. Nope. There we go. Because these will cut the harness, however. And in the defense of someone who says those clips are important, every time this goes up and down, so there is like a little bit of possible rubbing that's going to go on, but I'm going to just go without clips, because the other alternative is you have to actually remove the rear window, and I don't feel like going that far. This leads us to here, where I pulled this off, and yeah, you have to pull this harness off out of that gap just so you can get enough slack to pull it down to make repairs. As you can see here, I already found one wire that was not like this before, I promise. Wanted to see if this wire here was the control for the rear wipers, so I kind of just connected it together. It actually wasn't, so that tells me that there's further damage to more wires in this loom here. Unfortunately, this loom is the only way you can actually get it out would be to pull the entire harness, and it goes quite some ways in both directions. I don't really feel like doing that. So I think what I'm gonna do is use a pair of side cutters and cut this loom around on the backside and then tape it up afterwards. The finest that Canadian Tire has to offer. I want to try to rotate this around so I can cut on the back side of it so it's a little less noticeable. There. A knife would be a better tool for cutting rubber, but I don't really trust cutting around all these wires. Working back here is much better when you got a headlight on. Oh, that wasn't me. There's a clipped wire there. And with that, our harness is free. Yeah, hopefully we should be able to repair that. So at least one wire. No, there are many wires damaged. Curious how many of these somehow got clipped by the cutters and how many of these are actually from rubbing. No, there's no way I clipped that many in that many different places. No, there's some very questionable here for sure. That one there is not looking great. The unfortunate reality is I don't have the tools to solder these wires properly. I do have butt connectors, but I didn't think it would be this many wires, truthfully. Not sure how many of these wires can be saved and how many, because I'd like to, if I put too many butt connectors in there, like this is not gonna flex properly and it's just gonna cause issues in the future. I did this same repair on the Jaguar, in case you remember. That one costed me a lot more money, unfortunately, for separate reasons, but mainly me being an idiot. But I'd like to tape up as many as I can. I'd like to know where that big ground goes, because that's an important one. Almost like to continuity check it somewhere else. It's not a black and a red wire, is it? No. The black wire is for the defrost. Oh, this won't be a ground wire though, if it's for the defrost. Nope, positive wire. I also don't know what voltage it expects to see, so I can't test that one. Which ones can I tape and which ones do I not have to tape? Found a diagram for the E53s here. I think this one would be the rear. I think this would be the rear. I see a black and a brown and a black and a blue and a black and a green. And then brown is earth. That one there is probably the ground because it's one of the thicker ones. There's a couple of them that are thicker though. Black and blue. If this is black and blue, this is the only wire that's actually okay. Oh, is that black and blue? Yeah, I'm gonna check the continuity at this brown wire here. Okay, 0 ohms. Okay, well, I'm gonna repair the brown wire anyway, even though I can't seem to consistently get it to fail. There's a few though. This brown wire is not a ground. Well, this is Gorilla Tape, not electrical tape, but it should work the same. I think I might have actually mistakenly bought this, which makes me stupid, so I'm gonna say I used it for something else. I think to start, we're just gonna tape up some of the damaged wires here. I don't know how much corrosion has been introduced. Protective boot on this did its job pretty well though, so all these wires do look pretty clean, and I'm hoping that they've been somewhat free from corrosion. And hopefully just taping them up here, covering up the copper, will prevent me from having to do like way more surgery here. It's a bit late in the game, but I'll also mention a part of the reason why I went this far and took all this out is because right here, whereabouts, I think right at that mark right there, this kind of rubs right on that corner there, and that's why I took this off. So we'll also spin off some of that protective covering and I'll back for damage there. I don't think this is cutting wires from rubbing. I think this is more from flexing, and the rubber is kind of just giving out after 30 years worth of flexing every time this trunk lid gets open and closed. Alright, butt connectors. Okay, that actually passes the pull test. Sure, I need a Bic. Well, you know what? I've made about 0 actual credible repairs, but I think we're gonna go ahead and try it out anyway. Yeah, no, can't say I fixed anything there. Yeah, let's not do that. Okay, which wire is getting really hot? The motor cooking? Yeah, how many small brown wires? Figures I haven't repaired dick all. You know that white and red one? Let's see if I can find any kind of voltage drop. Well, that's interesting. This is the red and white wire. Kind of bouncing all over the place. It's not getting full system voltage. That was a random guess at a wire too. I don't actually know what any of these wires do. Okay, so the red and white one is a possible. Red and black one I never repaired. Well, there's 2 red and black ones. I did repair one of them. There's actually only 3 big wires. I've already tested that we have basically 0 ohms at the brown one, so it's just black and white. Black and red and white and red. This one is exceptionally bad. How much extra wiggle room do I have? Not much, fortunately. I gotta cut at least an inch out of it, I guess. Just out of curiosity, let's see if this did anything. Like, I guess I can actually do this. So, repair may have been for nothing, unfortunately, but that's just the way she goes. This video is gonna be hard to edit because it's gonna be just me silently fuming out my ears trying to figure out what I'm doing. So I am not an electrician, man. Nice, so that didn't work. Come on, these things are fucking expensive. Just crimp properly. What other wires is there? Black and blue, white and black, yellow and blue, pink and purple. The black and blue I think we determined look to be free of damage. No, it doesn't mean it's like perfect. Pink and purple is okay. Blue and yellow one, maybe small nick, and the black and the white wire. Seems to be okay, so I'm gonna assume it's all just the... Once again, that tells me nothing though, because it's not bent in the proper orientation. Oh, okay, terrible repairs have been made. Try again. All right. Well, I'm not gonna say that was a success. So I don't think those were rubbing. Let's see if those inconsistent numbers changed at all. That still doesn't seem to do anything. Okay, so that power is still confused. Ouch. So nothing's going through the black wire. The issue is the system like wipes every however many minutes, right? So it's kind of hard to tell. So if there is a voltage drop across this wire, it's either before or after where we made the cut. Okay, well, with that unfortunate reality, I don't actually know what the next step is. I may just have to actually assume that that motor has failed, or I may have to do some more digging and actually figure out how the system works. Either way, I'm gonna have to at least somewhat put things back together here. Pull this back through, properly wrap this protective cover around there. I don't remember where this was placed. I'm gonna wrap it around this section here. Shut up. Am I even gonna be able to get this around everything? Possibly not. Yep, looks like a BMW quality repair here. I have a feeling I'll be back in here at some point. I think I'm gonna leave half of this out. I gotta pop that in because I gotta get that one into the groove. Why must that be difficult? So that doesn't even line up. I try my absolute best not to blindly applaud everything BMW does. They do some things right. There's a lot of things they don't. Oh wait, that's... So that goes like that, and then that can go in. That one did the exact same thing. The clip thing, the receptacle came with it. Oh, idiot. Oh, what am I doing wrong there? I don't think that one's gonna hold. I bet the screws will hold it though. Oh, that may have been a mistake. Come to me, connector. Well, with that unfortunate disaster not complete, let's move back onto the engine. OCD. Oh. We are in the dark. I'm gonna let that go as long as physically possible because the less water in there, the better. And I also am not using concentrate today. I actually have 50-50 mix, which means if there's still water in there, I'm actually gonna be on the lower side. And when it is minus 30, that means there's a possibility it could freeze. So I'm gonna have to go and get a hydrometer because I don't have one here. I wonder if you can assist draining by squeezing rad hoses. Okay, while that's draining, our old friend needs to come off here. Just so happen to have tools that I'm bringing to work here. And I haven't quite made it to work yet, but I do need metric wrenches here, as it turns out. What is it? Is it a 32 or something? 32 it is. Have fun editing this shit show. Fuck's sakes. Well, unfortunately we're using the pry bar again because I still don't have the correct tooling for this. The head on this pry bar is too fucking fat. Oh, I hate this system. Oh, there we go. Okay, but we're getting way ahead of ourselves. I lost one of these in the last time I recorded a video. This one here is marked, as you can see. Cap came off it and now the cap is now gone entirely and we will not be reinstalling this after the job is done, is what I was going to say as I was removing that. Forgot about that. Only one of these is holding this. I think there's supposed to be a connector plugged in here as well, but it is not. No idea what that does either. The fan still spins, it's about all I care about. I need one of these with an electric fan. Kinda want that to be my next car. This belt was squeaking like a motherfucker. However, she looks fine. And that's kind of the issue with these is, same situation happened on the Jaguar when I did some pulleys and tensioners and stuff on the Jaguar. That after I replaced everything, it was still squeaking. And then I actually found out that there's an indicator for the amount of stretch that the belt has. And it actually was stretched on the Jaguar. So I have a replacement belt that I'm going to be putting in, and that will be included in the video that you've probably already seen because I'm doing everything out of order. Like these connectors. Say what you want, but these, I'm not totally against the rad hoses that BMW uses on these. Oh yeah, how much of this will actually land in the pail? Very nice. I am surprised that this rad hose is still functioning, considering how many times I've hit it with a wrench. I believe it's just 310s holding the thermostat on. Oh, that's right, and they put a bigger one, I forgot about that. Oh, we are missing the container entirely. I guess that's another reason why flush is probably not necessary, is because we're about to open the thermostat anyway and let all that water that we introduced into the system, we're about to let it out. Oh, into the bucket. Seen that one coming. There's one bigger bolt that they use to mount something else. Nope, no, it's just bigger for the sake of fuck knows why. Oh, my apologies. It's bigger because it actually mounts the engine lifting eye there. So you can lift this entire engine through a combination of a couple 13mm bolts, one of which is going through a plastic thermostat housing. To get this out, rotated a bit. Now, the issue is with BMW thermostats is I still can't see why this failed. Because on most, like this is one assembly that you can kind of see, but this spring, instead of acting on an internal thermostat component, it's acting on the actual block in there. So unfortunately, I can't. Any contaminants that were actually stopping this from completely closing have now been moved since I've taken this out. What did I originally put in? I must have put this exact part in. I'm gonna keep that as a spare just because I don't really know why it failed. I try to absorb as much of this crap out as I can to eliminate any variables as to why this may have failed to begin with. I'm gonna end up draining the entire engine of fluid if I continue to try to soak that up. So we're just gonna put the new thermostat in. Thermostats should not be rocket science, but to me they are apparently. And I didn't do the other one on camera, so nothing I say has any kind of credibility. Put that into place and you kind of just rotate them into place. You don't even have to remove this. This actually holds it for you. I don't have to touch anything. I actually like the thermostat design in these. Are these bolts even magnetic? Yeah, it should be. Success. Oh, well, I wonder what that bolt's right there is for. No, let's just put it back right there. Clearly, we don't need it that bad. Yeah, we heard the belts on this thing squeaking like a motherfucker. And it's gonna continue to squeak like a motherfucker because it's soaked in coolant now. See, the issue is that the belt looks fine. And because of that, I don't know if I want to spend the time and effort and money for the better sake of it, replacing the belt if it's just because it's stretched. Like, it's gonna squeak and it's gonna make all kinds of noise, but it's not gonna fly apart. I say that now, but I'll be singing a different tune when the belt hops a pulley on the highway. I don't remember what the torque spec is for these. So I love these M54s though. This is still a pretty relatively, aside from the fan clutch, this is still a pretty relatively moderate difficulty task that anyone who doesn't have that much experience pulling wrenches could probably still put together. It's crazy how those seal when you look at them and they're that loose. I guess it's only 15 PSI, but all right, reassembly. Should I actually try to connect any of this stuff that actually is connected? No, we're not gonna do that. We'll deal with that at a later date. Will this behave? Oh, yeah, that, not my finest moment. I was trying to put it in sideways. How do these go in? Because I messed it up last time. Getting to this, the thread is always the fun part. All that crying for nothing because it went on right away. Oh. Good. Didn't torque the thermostat bolts, that's okay. Leave these slightly loose, and forget the one clip that holds this in place. All right, coolant. I'd love to free pour this, but I'm gonna make a really sticky mess if I mess it up, so. Yeah, no, I actually did that. You know what, you see all that white stuff coming out? Probably not even a bad thing. I'm gonna pour some water through it just to get it out. And this time when the thermostat failed, it wasn't so bad because as long as I was giving her gas, I could get her going. When I parked at work, not in a heated garage, and then drove home though, it would be really struggling. I'd have to be a little more aggressively driving with it while it's cold. That's not great to do while it's cold. It's hard on an engine. It's hard on an engine to run cold as is because then you get plugged up with all that crap like my PCV system. I threw a clip into one video like my whole PCV system is full of gunk. First time it failed though, when I first bought the car, that was a little more difficult. Like 2 layers of pants, hoodie, and a jacket on, driving on the highway, and I was still freezing cold because the heater wasn't blowing hot enough. And minus 30, of course, right? We get plenty of those days. My camera keeps shutting off here. I hope that's not going to cause stress. Well, while that's draining, let's transition our attention to another thing that you cannot live without, regardless of what weather it is, because we're kind of going off topic here. We can't live without a window regulator. These are notorious for failing on these. Very difficult going through drive-thrus when you have no window, let me tell you. It'll roll partially the way down. If I go any less than a quarter of the way down, it stays down, and that's not preferable. And that unfortunately is not gonna fly, because I need to be able to do that type of stuff. I have tape over the switch to remind myself, but at least once I've taken the tape off, pushed the automatic, goes all the way down, and then I'm out in the middle of nowhere, and my window is rolled all the way down and won't roll back up, and it's minus 30 outside. Not a great scenario to be in, I'm not gonna lie to you. Okay, now what am I doing again? The battery is still connected on this thing. And that's typically not great when you have an airbag. Am I able to do what I did the first time that I had to make a repair? That just comes off like that, very nice. Park that like that, and there we go. I don't have to connect anything. Hello, Mr. Dangerous airbag. Okay, and since everything's still connected, oh! Yeah, probably don't want to engage that. However, first key position should give us the ability to... Oh, except I took it all the way up. Didn't consider that it's going to beep at us the entire fucking time. You can actually watch the internal failings. I wish that would shut up, like really bad. See, there's supposed to be a clip right there that holds it to a connector on this regulator. The regulator is currently missing entirely, probably somewhere. Oh, there it is. Yeah, so basically this clip is supposed to be in the window, but it's broken. Shut up, please. That's supposed to somehow, I don't remember how that is supposed to be like that. Here's our new regulator. See, now me and you, we go way back, so I wouldn't lie to you and try to convince you that I have any idea what I'm doing, because I simply don't. That's what mechanics do best, just wing it and figure it out. So this goes in something like that. Psych, upside down. Goes in something like that. And you can see by the shape of this assembly that this is going to suck to remove and install. This piece here is what's broken. It's this plastic portion here that's snapped off. These newer ones, are they better? Are they reinforced? I couldn't tell you. I've already removed all the insulation. That's another piece you'll have to remove. It's this like very sticky tar stuff, and it's pretty annoying to work with. I believe there's a square like this over there. I'd be very skeptical if you could see it. That's an access hole so that you can access the bolts behind it. Very small. Is it an 8mm? It is an 8mm. Once this is removed, I think the glass should be free. Nice, nice, nice. Real professional. Here's the glass is not completely free yet. Oh, maybe it is. I believe. Oh, now it should go up over that clip. Seen a video where a guy used a suction cup to hold the window at a height. I don't have that kind of technology, so. Yeah, not gonna lie. Should have had a little bit less confidence in that. Alright, I think I may have got very lucky, because from what I've heard, that can be very difficult to get the window to go back through that gap there. Need more hands. Please stay. Huh, I wonder if that's supposed to be connected. There's the remnants of the clip on this side. I believe it would be. That's not going to stay there. Getting my value out of this tool today. Heat up my car in the process. I'd say this thing has pristine paint and stuff. I think there's one more. Yes, there is. There's one in there, isn't there? Sneaky bastard, that one. Woo. Okay, that should be everything. Pull that up there. Is it a connector there? I may be missing a connector. Oh, what do I have here? Something's loose. Oh, down there she goes. Oh, it's at the tab from the window. How is that up there? I don't know. Oh, I am being restricted by the fact the window's not completely up. Why is that zip tied? What in the fuck? Oh, there's more fucking zip ties. Is there more zip ties? Yeah, that was fun. This might be one of the first videos that you could actually see the process of this coming out, though, because nobody has two hands in a camera these days. That's what's nice about the GoPro setup. Alright, so no screwdrivers available. 30. Let's just take them all. 30's the winner. don't suppose there's any way you can align that, so just goes in straight, I guess. We'll deal with all the other problems once it's too late. Okay, should be ready to be installed. I don't know how. Ah, that's gonna get annoying. It's also gonna do damage to the fucking glass. Oh. Stay. 2 new clips. Ooh, and this. This is the most important feature of all. Feeling well satisfied, let's go back to the job. Okay, so these don't actually come with the nut that's on the back of them. That's kind of annoying. Oh, one's still on there. Oh, those pop in, but I want to do that. Almost want to think that I would need to get this through the glass before that clicks in. Regulator, return to your home. Oh, it'd help if I had it facing the right direction. These are the studs. I should remove these. And I'm getting it past the harnesses. Okay, let's think this through. Basically, I just gotta get by the rear of the speaker. And I go over. Maybe? Oh, yeah, there's something. Maybe close to the right spot? No. It's usually not the sound you want to hear. Yeah, maybe through the stud on the top. Oh, where is it? Just had it. Okay, let's try to get one stud started so it'll hold the top end. Why does this have to not line up just by a hair? So that is not the first one you can get in because it doesn't line up. Yep, so that's like nowhere near close enough to go in. Oh, there's 2 holes here, and I can't see it because I took the lazy way and didn't take the door off. So I was like, that's way too low. And then, yeah, no, it all makes sense now. There we go. Okay, so that will stay now. There we go. Isn't it crazy how it works when you put things in the right places? Oh, idiots. Should probably take those off. Alright, how does this actually go on then? Do these start into there? It did. So they use the same bolts. Now, is it possible to install? Fuck! So now, I gotta connect that, but I should probably install more bolts. Just gotta line it up with the previous witness marks. This cable needs to go into there. There's another cable somewhere up here. And I think I just ripped the plastic piece that's supposed to hold that one, so that's okay. And now that the connector's back in, if I put the key in, and I don't do that for the second time, should now be able to mess around with this. There's where I want that. All right, so now that can shut up. Carefully remove, and then apply some pressure. Oh, fuck's sakes. Oh, I need a break. Please go on. Oh, this fucking glass is gonna chop my damn fingers off. Why will that not go in? This is a bad time for that. Okay, so you almost want these clips on before the regulator goes in. What the fuck? My camera has been giving me problems all day. In case you missed it, I just yelled very loudly because this brand new plastic tab that I went to install broke. So that is very unfortunate. It means we can't completely fix this. Brand new parts. The issue, fuck's sakes. The issue was this little white tab on the bottom. You almost gotta try to hook it under first. Like, I don't know. Why? Like, you can't. That's not possible. Like, I almost gotta machine these fucking tabs down. Oh, that's not possible. That's not possible. Oh, so I gotta try to reuse one of the old tabs. It's not the same part. All right, let's try to, I gotta get at least the one in. Okay, there's a little slot there that'll hold that. Not if I don't have the correct tool in my hand at the given moment though. 8 mils. Where is that? One hand. No, that's a bad place for that. I need a break. Cut me some slack, please. Oh, the clip came out. Oh, it's just not doable. Like, I'm going to break things if I leave that. Please, God in heaven, hear my prayers. I guess I'm using this technique, which I haven't done in a while. Oh, I can't because it's too fucking fat. Another technique needs to be done. Oh, I might not be able to do this one solely because the hex on the bolt is so shallow. No. Stop doing that. I need a break. I got a 10 on here. How did that happen? Was I trying to use paper towel to put it to the wrong side? Okay, so to recap, that clip is in, but unfortunately it's broken. I think both of them are broken. So that one's going in without anything. And basically I gotta put this door back together incomplete. Because I need new window clips from a company other than Euro Parts. Alright, so we're actually worse off than we were before, because the one I have half sort of put back together is this side. This one was actually the one that was broken, and it was that side that was complete. And because of that, before I took this apart, it was that one that was holding, and this one that was broken. And that one, when it goes up, it'll still roll the window up and down. Unfortunately, I've put the other one back together, so as it goes up, it twists the window. So I think to get functionality in my window until the parts arrive, which who knows when that'll be, I'll have to switch that again. Now this is gonna be twice as hard, and I might actually just have to disconnect the door card. Okay, no way around it. I gotta take this fucking panel off, and I have to do it now with one hand, because this is trying to take my fingers off. Okay, this has gotta go down. Oh, so you don't actually even have to disconnect the airbag. So I actually gotta go down even more. And I can't do that now, because I disconnected it. No, there's no getting around that. Okay, I need a prop, something to prop this up. Perfect. This reminds me of a video that I didn't ever finish making. On the Jaguar, I had the door card ripped apart, and then I had to move it because I was parked in front of someone's house. When I put the door card back together on the Jaguar, I went to use the window functions, and the front window was controlling the rear. The passenger was controlling the left, and the rears were doing nothing. I think it was some combination like that, but it was a very random combination. So I panicked, I Googled it, but all it takes is disconnecting your battery to reset the door module ECMs. I don't even know if BMW uses door modules, but then the ECMs would reset and they'd start functioning properly. Because I thought I fried an ECM personally. About there. That can stop. Probably my least favorite feature of this car is the Jaguar does not do that. Even when you're playing music outside of your car, it's nice to be able to leave the door open with the engine not running. This window seal is rolling over. I actually had the one on the passenger side do that. Randomly though, I'm not sure why I did it at all. Fuck's sakes. Okay, so I will need to hold that with a nut. Oh. Fuck! What happened now? Oh, it's this fucking window. Oh, and I lost the clip. No. The fact that this seal is rolling over is the only thing that's gonna help us get this in. And I still gotta get that. Caught it with my fucking hand, but that's not a good thing. I wish you guys could see the whole operation I gotta do to get this with one hand. Can't wait to do this again when I get new parts. Okay, one broken component installed. Oh, I'm not even close to in this. If I go too far, it'll just pop right out, so. Okay. Door card, back together. Door card, not yet. Kind of looking forward to taking that piece of tape off for good, but no, it won't be today, unfortunately. So that's how those break, I guess. Because you catch it on the lock when you're putting the door card on. Nope, I need a door handle. There we go. Don't do that, please. Fuck. I'd like things to cooperate today. Oh my goodness. Why would they make this so stupid? On the Jag, you gotta slide it into rails. This one's a little different. There's one nut that I'm missing on the motor there in case you missed it. I only installed 4 nuts. Oh, it's been a little difficult this time around. Okay, well, we're 0 for 2, but we can still save this episode, I promise. We can do that by actually installing the coolant plug before we fill it. Okay, let's try this again. That's all you want for coolant? Are you sure? What on earth is going on there? Start. I think some of the noise that I'm hearing right now is related to what we'll be addressing in episode 1, so you've probably already seen that. That's it. Yeah, it's the diesel valve. That'll be episode 1. She's really not fucking happy now, though. Now I really gotta get on that. I wanna just leave it undone. All the work we do on this thing, and it still sounds like a piece of shit. Oh, I probably need ventilation in here. But here's the test. Are we gonna be 0 for 3 today? Well, I need this win. It's been a long day. Well, that's as close as I say it's gonna get to temperature. I don't think it's going any higher. All I can really test in that scenario is whether or not it's overheating. I'm gonna call that like a partial win. No, I can't really prove it because I didn't park it overnight outside. But and with that, it's been a long day here. I'm doing this for about 5 hours, and I think we're gonna call it there. I'll probably have to readdress 2 of the issues once I have parts and a plan. If you made it this far in the video, thank you for watching. But before I let you go, I just want to highlight some of the long-term results of the repairs that we did today. At the time I'm editing this is all about 2.5 years later, but it is my honor to inform you that the hood struts and the door lock grommet are both functional to this day. As for the rest of what we did today, it was all basically a failure. As you've seen, the rear wiper motor barely worked when we reassembled everything, but it did actually start working somewhat better the next time I went to use it, and it seemed to consistently work for the next 1.5 years or something along the lines of that. These days, if my window is clear, it seems to work. But if my window has a layer of dust on it or dirt, on it, it doesn't have the strength to continue wiping and it'll stall out halfway through. But when the window's clean, it's actually able to wipe perfectly back and forth. I'll highlight at the time I was making this video, I was like a 2nd-year apprentice. Being that I'm a journeyman now, I can see the flaws in the troubleshooting techniques I was trying to demonstrate there. I'd like to mention that since the making of this video, technology has advanced quite a bit, specifically because now AI is capable of auto-populating an answer anytime you ask a question. And when you do that, it actually gives you an explanation of what the main wires do for the rear wiper motor. But I'd like to point out that the information provided by AI, it's not making this stuff up itself. It's getting it from elsewhere on the internet. And if it is elsewhere on the internet, then obviously I should be able to find it too. Obviously the colors don't match up here with what we're seeing, but the idea works the same. According to this, the wire that had fluctuating voltage numbers is the speed/part control wire. The ground is more obvious and we were able to check and our ground is good. The one wire we never actually got a number from is the constant power wire. The constant power wire I never actually got a reading from, but I had to like prioritize other things because as much as I wanted to make the video, I also needed to get the vehicle to more functional state. And I only had so many days to do it, and that's obviously why I was also overworked, and that's why I was stressed during the video. If I was more patient, there's a chance we would have actually seen the voltage at the constant power wire, but unfortunately we didn't. However, we know that wire is working to some degree because we do see that it moves sometimes. During the editing process, I've actually gone and done a little more research on it just so I could actually provide some information to you guys. Found a couple people that have ran into this problem. One guy was because of damaged wiring in the harness loom, which unfortunately wasn't our case, even though there was damage, but it was done to other circuits. But I did find a case where someone has this exact problem, and what they said the cause was there's an internal circuit board integral to the wiper motor, and they had that fail, and that's what caused theirs to stop working. Solution is replace the entire wiper motor. The other option that I can think of is that the actual wiper motor itself, the brushes are worn out. When the brushes are worn out, they're working harder in order to try to move the motor, and because they're working harder, they increase in heat. When you have heat increase, you have resistance increase, your amperage goes down, and the system doesn't work. And that'll happen after it starts moving when the brushes overheat. Pretty common failure of an electric motor. The other option is very similar. If this integral circuit board does have some kind of damaged wire, when amperage flows through that wire, the wire heats up, the resistance goes up, the amperage goes down, and the system doesn't work. So at some point, my next option is just going to be to throw a wiper motor at it and hope for the best. But I'll also point out that there's more than 3 wires on that connector. It's probably closer to like 5 or 6. I can't remember, but looking at it. And as to what all those small wires do, I have no idea, and I won't be able to find that information, unfortunately. I'll also point out that the repair that we did to the loom where we just taped it up, unfortunately that repair almost failed immediately, mainly because when we cut the wires we made it shorter, and as a result it doesn't fit in the loom as well, and it keeps pulling out the little ends that pop into either the trunk lid or into the frame itself. Because I'm actively editing this video right now, when I was driving the car the other day and I had a free moment, I actually went and pulled the tape off and pulled the loom apart to see what it looked like inside. And it was raining at the time that I did this, and the entire loom was full of water as a result of the loom not being popped into the trunk and not into the frame of the car. This is a pretty unwanted result. I didn't actually anticipate how important that loom was. So now that I've actually seen that, and I've been able to see how much water has actually been introduced into the system every time it rains and every time I pressure wash the car, I'm actually going to go and try to make a better repair here, and I might just use silicone in order to seal it up from leaking entirely. As for our window regulator, the regulator itself was broken, so the regulator replacement had to be done one way or another. As for the plastic clips, yeah, I just put it back together with the old clips. I just took the door panel off. It's very easy to actually remove the door panel. Very nice system BMW has. I was just stressed at the time. But then I swapped out the clips and everything went back to full functionality. As for the thermostat, the issue was that when I would start the engine would not go up to temperature. It would only go about a quarter of the way through the gauge and it would hold there, and that's not enough temperature to actually introduce heat into the cab, and it's not enough temperature to actually have preferable engine running conditions. Once I start driving the car, it'll get up to temperature, but then if I park somewhere in a parking lot with the engine idling, the temperature would drop back down. After we replaced the thermostat, I did actually find that we were having the same symptoms as before. I will highlight that the third thermostat that was installed was identical to the second thermostat and made by the same manufacturer. Now I'll point out that I actually have Excel spreadsheets where I record every single piece of maintenance that's done to these vehicles. However, if I don't look at this spreadsheet before I order the parts, the spreadsheet doesn't do me any good, and that's unfortunately what happened in this scenario here. So at this point, I'm going to reach out to anybody who has an M54, be it an E46, an E53, or an E39. If you could put in the comments as to whether your vehicle can actually get to temperature while idling, it'd be nice to have that information because I don't actually have any other vehicles to compare this to. And people on the internet all say avoid idling altogether because of the problems they have with the breather system. Because when the engine's operating under temperature, moisture is generated. That moisture builds up to slime in your breather system, and that slime can freeze, plug up your breather system, and as a result your engine will suck oil into the intake manifold. I've actually had this happen once, caused a misfire, shut a couple cylinders down. It was hard to get it home. When I got it home, I pulled it off and there was a bunch of ice in that tube, cleaned it out with some throttle cleaner, and it hasn't happened again since. But I also park in a heated garage during the winter now, and as a result it never really builds up to the point where it actually can freeze. But that's all I have today. If you made it this far, thank you for watching. Previous I haven't repaired dick all. What in the fuck? Fuck's sakes, entire fucking time. More fucking zip ties. Fucking glass. Fuck. Fuck's sakes. Fucking glass. What the fuck? Fuck's sakes. Gotta machine these fucking tabs down. Fuck's sakes. Too fucking fat. Take this fucking panel off. Fuck's sakes. Fuck. Fucking window. My fucking hand. Fuck.